everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Red Robin, the Grail. Take a look at this comic cover right here. Now, Red Robin, the Grail is part of the Batman Reborn series, and this follows the adventures of Tim Drake after what happened to him in Robin's Search for the Hero, R.I.P., and then Batman Battle for the Cowl. Now, see, in Batman Battle for the Cowl, Dick Grayson becomes Batman. We all know this. However, Tim Drake is no longer Robin. See, I love Dick Grayson, but he does a huge bullshitty move by taking the position of Robin away from Tim Drake and giving it to Damian Wayne. Now see, it's not because I dislike Damian Wayne and I don't want to see him Robin. I have no problem with Damian Wayne being Robin. It's the fact that Tim Drake was Robin, so he should have made the decision to leave the role, not Dick Grayson. And Tim Drake basically feels that way. He feels as though his position as Robin has been taken away from him. Now, Dick Grayson says, well, I do this because you're not my protege, you're my equal, you shouldn't be Robin. But still, that's a bullshitty thing to do. It's one of the few times Dick Grayson is kind of an asshole, but anyways, Tim Drake gets pissed, yells at Dick Grayson, punches the shit out of Damian Wayne, a little revenge for anyone that didn't like what Damian Wayne did to Robin and Batman his son. And then he goes upstairs, starts throwing temper tantrums, throwing shit around, getting pissed off, and then in that moment of clarity, he comes to the conclusion that, well, Batman's still alive. How he comes to this conclusion, I don't know. Maybe Tim Drake realizes that they're in a comic book and death is just a kind of a waiting area until you get rebooted back or come back to life, and that, you know, he's just going to come back because he's a popular character. Or maybe it's just because Tim Drake knows that Batman is so incredibly smart that he can outthink death. Or a third option. But the fact of the matter remains is Tim Drake thinks Batman is still alive. So he cuts off all ties from Dick as Batman and Damian and Alfred and Wonder Girl and Spoiler and, you know, his cops that he had, that he was working with. Everyone he cuts off ties with. And he goes on this mission to find Bruce Wayne. And he takes up the mantle of Red Robin. Now, he takes up the mantle of Red Robin not because he wants to, but because he feels he has to. See, Red Robin isn't connected to Batman at all. Red Robin is his own persona. So anything Tim Drake does as Red Robin will not reflect poorly on Batman and Robin. See, he's going to be crossing some lines. And if you read the back and it says he's going to be crossing some lines, and I'm telling you that, you're probably saying, well, he's not going to cross really big lines. I mean, it's not like he's going to kill anyone. And he doesn't kill anyone. But Tim Drake does some questionable stuff. He does cross a few lines here, mainly working with Ra's al Ghul in the League of Assassins. You may not think it's a big line, but when you actually think about it, that's something that really he would never do as Robin. Really, Batman would never do unless it was absolutely necessary, and he's willing to cross these lines in order to find Batman. So, the basic gist of the story is that Tim Drake becomes Red Robin, leaves everyone, goes on a mission to find Bruce Wayne. While going on that mission, he goes on a few miscellaneous missions, while also dealing with the League of Assassins, and he also finds out about the Council of Spiders, a group of individuals killing off the League of Assassins. Will Tim Drake be able to find proof, evidence that Bruce Wayne is still alive? Will he be able to work with Ra's al Ghul in peace and not have to worry about getting backstabbed? Will he be able to help the League of Assassins defeat the Council of Spiders? Or will it just all go to shit? Well, you're going to have to read it to find out. Now on to the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. Well, the art is good. I enjoyed the art. With the exception of maybe one or two instances, the art was very satisfying. I did like that. Which is good because nowadays there's very few comics that really have bad art, so maybe I shouldn't really talk about the art too much, but the art is good. Two, is I liked how they did the concept of the story. Tim Drake going off to search for Bruce Wayne. It kind of works because Tim Drake doesn't have a place in the Batman family as of right now. So it makes sense as something to keep Tim Drake occupied with. I like how it's handled too. It kind of is reminiscent of the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stories in that they start at point A and they go to point B, but along the way they deal with several different other stuff. Tim Drake is starting at point A. Point B is finding Bruce Wayne. But on the way to finding Bruce Wayne, he comes up with a lot of different challenges, a lot of different miscellaneous adventures, which makes a simple story seem a little bit more complex, a little bit more intuitive, and a little bit more better. So in saying that, the story is handled for the most part well, and I enjoy the fact that he does these miscellaneous hero actions, or going up against the League or the Council or something like that. In addition to that, I like the fact that they incorporated Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul or al Ghul, however you want to pronounce his name. As I said it before, and I'll say it again, I'll pronounce it Ra's al Ghul because that's how I grew up with it, with the animated series. I like the fact that they introduced Ra's al Ghul into this and they had him be a character. I think Tim Drake is probably has the highest intellect out of the Batman family, with the exception of Bruce. And I say that even more so than Dick in some instances. Maybe Dick is probably smarter than Tim, but Tim is strategically smarter than Dick. And Tim, if you've read any of the Robin series, especially Search for the Hero, you've seen he's become more and more like Bruce. So to match wits with Ra's al Ghul makes it a perfect foil for Tim Drake. So in that is good too. Bad. Well, I don't really like the Red Robin costume. It would have been better if they didn't have the hood and they just had him at his traditional mask. They could have kept the rest of the costume, the body, the harness, the belt, everything else, and I would have been fine with it. But just get rid of the mask and I would have been fine with that and put a regular Robin mask. Another bad is that this story really doesn't connect into any of the other Batman Reborn stuff going on right now. I know it kind of loosely connects into the Return of Bruce Wayne stuff that's going on, but really this isn't too big with any other Batman readings. The next thing is that this isn't really for everyone. This is really for Tim Drake fans and people that love Tim Drake. So in saying that, whether or not you should get it, it comes down to being two people, and usually in my reviews it comes down to two people, but if you're a Tim Drake fan, then yes, definitely pick this up, because this is for Tim Drake fans. This is geared towards Tim Drake fans. Tim Drake fans will love it. If you're not a huge Tim Drake fan, then you probably shouldn't pick it up, because it's not essential to your Batman reading. I mean, sure, there's some key good points to this, but this isn't worthwhile enough to pick up if you're just a comic book fan or a Batman fan in general. Mostly because the price is $17.99, and this is really a book that should go for like $14.99 or something along that line. So the $3 extra does do a little kick to the gonads. But on a whole, if you're a Tim Drake fan like me, if you love him, if you think he's an amazing character, if you really like what's happened to him in Robin, you want to see what happens to him in Red Robin, I would recommend this because you will enjoy this. Again, this is geared towards Tim Drake fans. But if you're not a Tim Drake fan, if you're just reading Batman in general, then you probably should want to put this aside. Maybe pick it up in the future when it's cheaper, or that you can find it for cheaper, because this is really a Tim Drake fan book. In saying that, I did enjoy Red Robin, and I'm actually looking forward to the next volume coming out, which I think is Collision, I forget. I already pre-ordered it in my comic book list. So, with that said, Red Robin, the Grail. If you're a Tim Drake fan, pick it up. If not, I would wait on it. But still, I enjoyed the story, and I would recommend it to those who would want to read it. This is Andrew saying, peace out for now.